Hello YouTube, this is Brian Tubbs coming at you with another video. Today I'm working on a piece that we haven't came with a name for yet. It's kind of similar to the piece that we made for Tesla, which is the Guardian. So it's kind of along that line, but it's going to be different from the Guardian. Like on the Guardian we used, like I'll put up a picture of it here. You know, we use the Tesla brake rotor, some pretty wide, big shields with stainless steel behind them. We kind of made a sword, you know, for the left side or right side, depending on how you're looking at it. Did a few things to that one that we're going to do differently on this one. I'm going to show you guys a picture of the one that I'm currently making. Let me give you guys a kind of a close-up of it, and if you guys can see that, it's kind of along the same line. It's just different. Like I'm not using a brake rotor this time. I made kind of an off-centered circle, and I'll have, you know, the head piece on there like I did with Tesla, but it'll be slightly different. The shield is going to be different. And the sword thingy, which is not a sword, it's just a kind of design we came up with, all stainless steel piece on that side, using an I-beam, you know, down the center like we did the Tesla piece. Probably put that stainless steel circle in the middle of the circle on the top, you know, within that inner inside there. So it's going to be a little bit different, but I guess kind of along the same theme, I guess, because right now I'm in the, you know, we're in the process of kind of changing some things up, you know, how we do and make sculptures. I mean, we've kind of made our same style for the last, you know, 7, 8 years, 9 years now, and we're just going to start just doing something just a little bit different, I guess, more organic, more curves and, you know, stuff like that, and just make, you know, pieces like the one I just showed you. It's more tranquil. It can be in a person's garden, and they can, you know, put flowers and stuff like that around it, where they can go out there and sit and meditate, that kind of thing. So we're kind of getting more into that. Just doing different things, because I'm when you're doing this stuff, you have to constantly be, you know, just innovating and changing and doing just new things. So just kind of stretching myself, just doing different things, coming up with new ideas, and I'll be showing you guys, you know, in future videos, you know, the things we're doing, you know, different, and how we're kind of changing some things up. But of course, I can never go away from what we've been doing, because people are constantly, you know, wanting those pieces. So we can't just say we're not going to make them anymore. But if someone wants, you know, a piece, a tipping point or reaching, you know, flags, those sculptures, leaf, we have buttons, we have ivy, we have heart of man. Yes, we have so many different sculptures, you know, that we have made. And so we're not going to go entirely away from those. We're just going to be adding some other, you know, things, you know, to our quiver, if you will. And so today I'm working on that sword thingy that's really not a sword, because I guess with Guardian it was more of like a samurai type sculpture. And although we call it Guardian, the actual name for it was Guardian of Peace. And so that's why I had the sword, you know, it was there just to kind of ward off, you know, bad feelings or whatever, the Guardian of Peace. But in this one, we're not going to really be on that theme. It's going to be just a little bit different. So what we came up with was something that looks like this. So it's not a sword. It's it's really not, it's just a design. It's going to be, it's 4 feet from top to bottom, about 4.5 inches wide, somewhere in there, and then the width, the depth of it is going to be 3.5, 4 inches, you know, depth wise, and it's going to be all stainless steel. And we're going to, of course, have these holes in the center. They're going to have our pipe going through, coming out the back side or the front side, however you want to look at it, and just be welding everything up. Then we got to come up with some cool brackets to hold this, you know, to this side of the I-beam, like we did with the Guardian sculpture, but just do something different. I don't really want to do the same type of attachments that we use with Guardian. I want to do something a little bit different. But when you're going from, like that piece is going to be some core 10, the I-beam is mild steel, and when we put the rust patina on it, on the I-beam, we don't want the rust patina to run off of that onto the stainless steel. So I'm going to have to do something with the connectors. And when I say connectors, you have this piece, the I-beam is here, and it's what connects this to the I-beam. And the Guardian piece, it had the two square, well, actually a rectangle tube with the holes drilled in the center. They had pipes in them. And so that's what I'm talking about when I say connectors. So I'm trying to come up with something that's going to be different from that. But it's going to still have to be, you know, nice and cool. But it's going to have to be something that where the water won't run off of the I-beam onto the stainless. So it's going to have to separate it somehow so the water will just run down. But we'll come up with something. But again, this is what I'm in the process of making. And so today I'll be showing you guys, you know, some of the welding. I'll show you the piece. Let me put this aside here. Oh, God. And this is the piece in stainless steel. So we just made our cardboard template, and then just came up with the piece. So what I'll be doing is just kind of welding it up today, just finishing up. I've already kind of tacked it together. Oh, it's heavy. These are you know, the stainless steel pipes that goes through the center. It's 4 sides to it, of course. The pipes run all the way through from front to back. And it's just negative space. So you'll be able to look right through that. And then in the sculpture, in the picture I just showed you guys, let me put this thing down real quick. Okay, so in the picture, if you guys can see, again, you can see those white circles along the body. Those white circles on that little shield thing, on the shield, and on the bottom of the I-beam itself, those circles, those will be cut out, and there will be pipes running through the shield from the front shield to the back shield. It's going to be a shield and a shield front and back. On the Guardian, although I had holes, you know, bored in the shield, there was stainless steel behind those holes, so you just saw the shiny stainless steel, you know, through the hole. But with this piece that we're making, you'll be able to see completely through the sculpture, from the front shield going through the I-beam to the back shield, and just seeing right through it. So that'll be on the shield portion, and on the bottom portion, you'll be able to see, you know, through that too, just making more negative space. And so today I'm just going to be just TIG welding this guy up, and I'll just bring you guys in so you can kind of get a close-up, you know, view of me doing that. And I'll kind of talk my way through it. Just gotta let you guys see how I do it. So let me move this camera in so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, guys. So what I'm gonna do is just get this area in here. Then I think I'll come in here and get this area in here. Just kind of work my way, you know, down the piece. I have these clamps on here, you know, just to try and keep it from warping and twisting, because I don't want this piece to twist at all. I want to keep it, you know, as flat and straight and everything as I possibly can, because when it's positioned on the piece, I don't want it, you know, like twisting or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to try and control my heat as best I can, and just kind of go ahead and run with it. All right, so here we go. I think I'm gonna move this first clamp out of my way, and then maybe tack here, and then move the clamp out of the way somehow. It's really nice having this table, so I can just move the clamps like that. I don't have to go under the table trying to undo it and all that other stuff that I used to have to do with the Harbor Freight tables. So it's just a lot nicer. All right, let me give it a shot. I'm set at 80 amps and about 10 CFH on the gas, running a 3/32 tungsten, 3/32 stainless steel 309L rod, and this is 304 stainless steel. All right, here we go. And the issue I'm having, not issue, but the thought that I'm having is I'm not sure if I'm gonna grind the welds off or keep them. And so it just kind of depends on how it looks. And all I'm doing is following this little line here, where the two pieces come together. I'm just dipping right in that seam. I think I've used this rod as much as I possibly can. Go ahead and grab another piece. Another tack weld here. All right, here we go. following that line. Just watching the bead roll out into that little valley. Come off the pedal a little slow, so I don't want a crater. I'm going to go ahead and clamp this back to the front here, because I don't want that to start raising up on me. Let me readjust here a little bit. All right, here we go. And I'm just trying to keep a steady travel speed, not going too fast, and definitely not going too slow, because I don't want to build up heat in one spot. I do not want this thing to warp at all. And if you can see, I've already put tacks around the pipe coming through, because I don't want this to drop down or raise up off of those pipes. Because if this raises up, then I have to try and get down in there to weld this outer panel to the pipe, and I do not want to do that. So, all right, here we go. Like I think I said before in another video, that grinding stainless steel TIG welds is a whole lot easier and faster than grinding stainless steel MIG welds. Like night and day. TIG welds are a lot flatter, so I don't have to, worry about grinding these really high spots and all that stuff. So it doesn't take much time at all, and the TIG welds are just softer. They're not as hard as the MIG weld. So I'm just focusing just on that, standing at the little seam. I'll dip, then I'll move a little bit, I'll dip again. Trying to keep a consistent pattern. I'll weld up to this point, then I'll go back to the beginning and weld some on the lower portion. So I'm really just trying to keep from building up too much heat in one area. So I'll move this back so it won't twist on me. Then I'm gonna go onto this section here and do a little bit of welding there, but I'll move this clamp so you guys can see a little bit better, hopefully. Oh, that is so nice to be able to just do that. Before I would have to take the clamp off, go under the table, try and fish it up through the seam and the little open area and try and feed it onto here. Now I just pick it up, move it, clamp it right down. So much more efficient. All right. Trying to keep my focus. And just following the arc. In some areas I have enough material on this wall, the vertical wall, that I can use that as opposed to having to use the rod, the filler rod, to weld, because I have enough material to roll it over onto the face of the flat metal. So all I'm doing is just pulling this vertical wall over onto the flat face. I'm using a little bit of filler rod just to help build the weld up, because I don't want the weld too flat. I'm going to kind of build it up a little bit. I'm getting a little bit low on my argon, so I'm going to have to go and get a new bottle of that later on today. Really quite relaxing when you're doing this. So what I'm doing is I'm welding. I welded the upper portion here, then I came here just to kind of, because it wants to pull, I'm trying to offset that pull by welding the opposite side, so hopefully they'll kind of balance out and won't pull too much. When I first started doing this stuff, I was really, to get my welds almost perfect. But what I began to notice is that some people really care about the welds, and most people don't. They just want the art. They don't care about how nice the welds look. As long as the welds hold up for them, they're fine. And that's what matters to a lot of people. So you have different people. I still do my welds as really nice, but I don't stress out about it, because people are really looking at the art. I mean, the welds just kind of play a part. The welds are a part of the art, but a lot of people don't look at just the welds. They look at the entire piece. I guess I'm saying they don't be trying to look for like a lot of imperfections. You have some people that do, but the majority of those people are not buying anyway. They're just trying to find something wrong with something. Just put a few more tacks on there just to keep this face from trying to raise up or sink. I could go hotter, so I'm at 80 amps, foot all the way down, full pedal. Could go hotter, but it's just not necessary. And I want to keep my weld profile a little bit high, because if I do decide to not grind, I want to be able to see the weld. Move these out the way a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Alright, see if I can work around this clamp. Sometimes you just have to kind of maneuver as best you can around clamps and all the other stuff. Like I said, just trying to just keep the focus. Trying to stay in that little valley, just watching the well kind of flow into it. And while I'm doing this part, I'm thinking about the rest of the sculpture. I'm thinking about the base, the width of the base, all that stuff I'm thinking about as I'm doing this. Because this will probably weigh probably about 20 pounds when I'm finished with it. Just this thing that I'm making here now. Then the I-beam is It's around 70 or 75 pounds itself. Then I got to, then the headpiece, I mean the upper portion, I guess you can kind of consider it the head. That's another 20 pounds. And then the shield is probably going to be another 15. And then my base, that's either going to be 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch. So it's it'll add up after a while. So I'm just kind of thinking about all that stuff as I do this. And I hope you guys that are watching that are planning on doing this. I hope you are out there doing stuff by now, making stuff. Or if you still saving up for your welder, and that's cool. But while you're saving up your cash, just draw some stuff on some paper or make cardboard templates, that kind of thing. Just to so when you get your welder or whatever, you be ready to go. One key that I found is just getting some paper and just start drawing lines. Just any lines, just start drawing lines just to come up with ideas. And that's one of the fastest ways to come up with ideas, is just drawing. I don't always use drawings for a lot of my stuff, but some of the stuff I do, some I just come out of my head and just start making stuff, and some I'll use I'll draw just to kind of get some things going. Just depends. I walk around, go around, drive around, look at buildings, just anything to get some inspiration. Come on, move this camera to a different position right quick. All right, here we go. I have people ask me sometime, what else do I do other than art? And I tell them I do, quite a few other things when I have time. Like I was in real estate for 20-some years on the rental properties. So I'm writing a book on that now while I do this. Radio controlled cars, trucks, plane, boat, motorcycles, DJI drone, I fly that. Just got into archery pretty good. So I'm out shooting targets. I don't hunt. Just shooting at targets and just having fun with that. I have a mountain bike, ride that. This is a Specialized Expert. I really like that bike. Ride that. I have a Gamo air rifle. I shoot that. There's a lot of things that I do outside of this. The good thing about this, I really don't consider this work because I enjoy it so much. So I don't know, I just look at it as just having fun all the time. You know, it can be challenging sometimes, you know, doing this. But I enjoy it, so I do it. And you can make money, of course, doing it. And no, I do not work a regular job or job. This is what I do. And if you guys desire to get to the point, if you're not already there, we don't have to work. You can just do what you want to do. This is one way to do it, that's for sure. It takes work, but you can do it. And if you guys want to do it, you can do this, you know, during the spring, summer, fall. You can take winters off if you want. It's however you want to do it. It's however you want to do it. That's how you set it up for yourself. If you want to do commissions during the winter, that's cool. Just however you want to do it, that's how you can do it. So however you want to do it, you decide and just work your tail off during the spring, summer, fall, during shows, and or however you plan to set your thing up. And then you take the winters off if you want and just build your inventory, just doing things on your time. You're not rushing and all that kind of stuff. You know, but that's all up to you guys. But it is possible to do this full time. I have a friend of mine. He's from Philly, but he moved to Florida, and he does it. He's been doing it full time for a long time. But his problem is he spends a lot of money, just blowing money on everything. I mean, he makes a killing. But when you make money, you're supposed to put some of it away, invest some of it. But he just has this habit of just spending. And I mean, but if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. But if he ever wants to stop doing this one day, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to stop because he gets himself so far in debt. So, but that's on him. So my advice to you guys, if you do this full time, take care of your money. Because you might have a good year, you might have a not so good year. You just never know. It's probably one of the only times I ever mentioned money as it pertains to this stuff. I mean, I don't talk about money because, I mean, that's not what this channel is about. But I mean, it's a part of, you know, what we do, but it's just not what I talk about. Just get out there and do your thing and just see what happens. We're getting to the end of this. Getting pretty close anyway. A little bit more challenging on this side. I'm trying to pull the vertical wall onto the horizontal wall, and I'm used to doing it from the other side. And by the other side, I mean coming from here, pulling it this way. But on this side, I got to pull it from here to this way. I got to pull this wall onto this metal, but on this side, I got to pull that wall onto this metal. It's easier because of the position. A little bit harder over here. I have to keep thinking that I'm not going off this way. I'm trying to come onto this thing. So it's just having to think a little bit. That's all. And normally I would turn this thing around. I'll do this side, then I'll flip it around and then do the other side on that side, but I'm just gonna work my way down it. Hope you guys can see this. Just like right there, I went back because I started coming toward me too much and not going onto the face of the metal with the weld bead. And again, doesn't have to be perfect, but just want to make it nice. I have to take my clamp and move my clamp and clamp it onto one of my. I got to take this clamp, my work clamp, and clamp it onto one of my other clamps to get it out of my way. All right, getting there now. If I did not enjoy this, I'm not sure what I will be doing right now. I don't know what other venture I would be involved in. So it's going to come around this corner here. Just kind of finish it out. Now, had I not tacked around those pipes in the center there, they would have been popping up everywhere. That metal would have been raising up, would have been sucking down. So I just let you guys know, when you do this, put as many tacks as you can on the piece before you start welding it up, because it's going to want to move, especially stainless steel. I'm gonna get up to this close to this clamp as I can. I have to move my hold down clamp. Getting pretty close now. And after I finish welding everything, I gotta just let it sit. I let it sit for 20-30 minutes, something like that, to let it cool down before I take those clamps off. Keep this baby as flat as I possibly can. Trying to keep this clamp out of you guys' way as much as possible. I'm just following the arc. Stay in the groove. Making sure not to weld my clamp to the piece. I think before the day is out, I'm gonna have to run over to the supply house and get some more argon, because I'm pretty low. Alright, here we go for this last section on this part anyway. Go ahead and run this bead up here. I think this is the bottom of the piece. you guys can see this little flap right here. I just left that on so I can take my work clamp and clamp to that to ground this piece, because I couldn't, it's not magnetic, so I couldn't put my other magnetic ground clamp holder on there to clamp my ground clamp to, because it's non-magnetic. So I left a little tab on there to be able to clamp to. And after I get finished, well then of course I'll cut that off and finish it up. I made a video when I was making the base. I think it was for the Heart of Man, I believe it was. And I was showing you guys how to clamp to your stainless steel. You know, when you get in a situation where there's nothing to clamp on to, you have to kind of make it happen. And I was just telling you guys you can get like a piece of scrap metal and get a clamp and just kind of clamp it to the piece, and then clamp your ground cable to that. I'll put a thumbnail up of it. I think it was making the base for Heart of Man. I think that's what it was called, something like that. I'm surprised I had enough argon to get through. I'm surprised I had enough argon to get through most of this project, because I was pretty low. All right. So now I have to just go back, do the around the holes. All right, guys. I'm gonna kind of just show you how I do around circles. I'll do this side over here first. Then I let the piece cool off and finish that after I end the video, because I'm gonna let this thing sit down or just rest here for a while and cool down, because I don't want to move it and take a chance on this thing warping. So what I do is I just, because this material, the pipe is a little bit higher than the wall, the face here. So I'm just going to be kind of pulling some of the pipe's wall over to the top of this horizontal piece, and I might even use some rod in certain cases. But if it's high enough, I'll just kind of fuse this on to that and just kind of take it from there. But I always have a rod in my hand just in case I need to use the rod, to kind of pull it over, just to kind of help out. All right, so here we go. Hopefully you can see how it melted in like that. reposition a little bit here. Now for the next one. I'm just pointing my heat really right between the two pieces. I'm just taking my time. And I'm really just watching that wall melt down onto this other piece here. That's all I'm doing. This would take wherever you point your heat, that's where the metal is going to go. And I could be using my TIG rod dabbing, but it's really not necessary. Not necessary because I have all this metal that I can use. And that little technique is what we call fusing. That's how we, you hear someone say fuse weld, that's what they mean. If you know how to do it correctly, you can fuse a lot faster than you can dip the rod in some cases. Like I can fuse in about half the time that it would take me to dip a rod. All right, we'll go for the last one. And I'm just pulling the metal, guys. I'm using all 80 amps. And if you're doing this and you see a hole start trying to open, come off your pedal, go back on, dip some rod in there. Just jam some rod in there. Don't just lightly tap and jam that rod in there to close that hole. Come off the heat. Sometimes the puddle's not starting fast enough. When I'm doing this, I'll just dip a little bit of rod in there. Just reposition just a little bit, get to one little side here, and that'll be it until this thing cools down out. Then I'll flip it around and do the other side. All right, guys. So that's how I do it. Just welding stainless steel. Like I said, after this cools down, I will have to take it, flip it around, and finish the the circle portion. But I don't want to move it until this thing cools down. I just want to keep it from twisting. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this portion of the video, but there'll be a part 2. I'm not sure exactly if I'll be putting it on the piece or drilling the holes for the shields. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing next, but whatever it is, I'll get you guys involved in it so you can see what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. And it might be putting the pipes through the piece, boring the holes for the pipes. I'm not exactly sure yet, but we'll just keep the project moving. All right, guys, so you can like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel. You can do all those YouTube-y things that you guys know how to do. And as usual, peace out.